Hello, Guardians. Welcome back to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me today is none other than the Pennsylvania Rattlesnake, Shaxx's Undergarments, Hawthorne's Flightless Bird, and the ship that Drifter only wishes he could touch. That man himself, Nerd Generalist, is here.
I had some really witty things I was gonna say in response, but those caught me off guard. Now, as Hawthorne's Flightless Bird, Corey, would you say that I'm the wind beneath your wings? No? Okay. Well, hey, guess what? We're gonna turn the tables on you this week, Corey. Folks, with me tonight is none other than the podcast papa, the sandwich slamming, the Browns bragging, the Titan totin'. Is there any hair under that cap? Corey Deering.
I can answer a few of those questions.
You know which one we all want to know the answer to.
What, is there hair under this hat?
Which sandwich are you slamming was the one I was going to suggest.
Oh, so actually, Nerd, now that you say that, we're going to Disney in a couple weeks, and I will be doing an unwrapping of an Earl of Sandwich and a taste test. Okay.
What, do you know which one?
No.
Nope.
No, see, here's the thing. I'm going to put a poll in the Discord, and they're going to choose for me.
All right. Well, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother reason to join the Discord right there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to see me eating some sandwich. Also, you'll be able to find my blue milk versus green milk review as well in Star Wars land.
Which was better? It's got to be the blue one, right?
The last time I went, I remember really liking the blue milk and not really liking the green milk. So,
is there a distinguishable flavor?
Yeah, one is more, the blue one's more like a thicker smoothie type drink.
Okay.
And the green one is like a plant-based kind of for people that don't, do dairy or meat or stuff like that. So
got it.
I guess they'd be called vegetarians or vegans, or I don't know.
Careful.
I know there's a difference. I don't really know the difference, and I'm not going to pretend that I know the difference. I just know that the green milk is for that specific type of person. So,
Corey, we're going to get called out on Twitter for that.
Look,
I know it.
I'm escaping.
It's coming.
Hit
the escape button.
You know what else? You know what else is turning the tables this week, Nerd?
Yeah.
It's been a week. It's been a week.
I feel like at this point, can't we just say it's been a month?
No, well, see, for me, I'm usually having like a pretty good week, up to this point.
Okay.
But man, since last Friday, I've been, so like I said before, we're going to Disney, and some of our plans have changed a little bit. So I've been scrambling to move the pieces around and get everything situated. So that's been fun. When
are you heading out?
2 weeks from Saturday, actually. So it was 15 days, 16 days.
That's pretty soon. Traveling with kids is always rough too.
Yeah.
It always takes a lot of extra prep.
Plus, two of my cousins are going, which is part of the reason why we've been scrambling, because we added my cousin to our trip this past week because, we thought she would like to go with us, and that's not really a smart thing to do 2 weeks before you're going to Disney World. So, and then my parents are going, and then my two kids are going. So it's like a big old family vacation.
How many times have you been to Disney?
Probably 50.
Are you a member of the secret club?
The Disney Vacation Club?
No.
I am not.
Isn't there a secret club, like a random door that you go and you just knock on 6 times?
That's a Disneyland thing, the Club 33.
Oh, is that Disneyland? Okay.
I don't know if it's still there. I think they changed how it works, or door 55 or something. I don't know. It's two of the same numbers that go together. I don't know.
I bet if you went, knocked, and just told them you were the podcaster from Tower Casuals, they'd be like, well, come right in.
I'd just be like, I'm Walt Disney's great-great-grandson from the other lady nobody knows about. Who do you think Goofy's based off of?
That's funny. I kind of see the resemblance a little bit.
Yeah. Goofy's a little more slender than I am, but that's okay. That's okay.
Oh man, Josh is gonna be so mad.
Look, he's not here. He's not here to drive the ship tonight. Okay,
it's a reign of terror. Reign of terror. That's what I always call it when one of you guys isn't on and I come on. I just come in here and just intentionally try to derail the entire thing.
You know what? We're going to derail it anymore. Are you playing anything other than Destiny? I see that Overwatch group kind of hopping along in the No Man's Sky one.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of at a slow part in the season now. I'm granted we do have a new event that started this week, which we'll talk about that later. But
Festival of the Cost
is back, folks. Bust open those wallets, put on your Aldrin O face masks, and get ready to shell out for Daddy Bungie. But we'll get to that in a second. I don't want to derail this conversation because, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. And Mr. Citizen Scum from our Discord, a.k.a. Phil, got me hooked on this Marvel Snap. Corey, have you played it yet?
What is this?
You're a Marvel guy. You're a Marvel guy, aren't you?
Sometimes. Depends.
I thought you were a big Marvel guy.
It depends on what it is, I think.
Yeah, so it's a mobile game. It's like a digital card game, but you can like get through games in like 2 to 3 minutes at a time. So they don't take like a ridiculous amount of time.
My friend used to play a wrestling game like this.
Yeah, I think it's based off of some formats that kind of like already exist, but it's pretty addictive. But yeah, Overwatch, I've been kind of trying to jump back into No Man's Sky, but there's just such a huge barrier to entry with that game. It's really tough to get back into it. But we do have a lot of people in the community who've been playing No Man's Sky and really enjoying it. What about you? You been playing anything else?
I mean, I play a little bit of Overwatch. Here's the thing, though. I guess I really haven't been playing Overwatch. I played it a little bit on Switch. So
is that a Switch joke?
No,
are you saying like I've been playing it on Switch, so I really haven't been playing? I guess
no. It's just clearly not the way to play that game. You know,
no,
it's just
no.
To be fair, it runs nice. It's like a crisp. It's more than 30 frames, but it's not quite 60. You know.
Does it run natively on the Switch, or does it have to like play it through the cloud?
Nope, it's a native.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because I've never played it on the Switch, but it's I mean, the graphics are good, but they're not like detailed, so to speak. Yeah. So I feel like the Switch would be able to handle it a little better.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean it's a fine port. I just play it because I don't get to use the TV a lot.
Yeah,
and when I do, I'm usually playing Destiny or something bigger, like I don't know, Assassin's Creed or something else.
Assassin's Creed.
It was going to be Gotham Knights, but not now.
Ooh, yeah, that's a downer. I heard some bad things about that one.
So did I.
It looks really rough. I think the new consoles aren't getting 60 frame support on that. Is that correct?
Yeah, and Rocksteady came out and said that the Series S is what's hindering the development of that game, even though they're not the developers of the game. So
sounds like one to avoid there.
Yeah. So look, if they patch it and it's like $30 one day, maybe. But
yeah, I mean, Christmas is coming up. I mean, those games that come out right before the holidays and tank and don't do so well get discounted pretty quick.
It's true.
Might be one to pounce on.
Bargain bin Batman.
Bargain bin diving Corey Deering. That's one of the nicknames for next week.
Nice. Write it down. Put it in Discord. Somebody's winning that.
Do we want to jump into the TWAB?
Yeah, let's do it before we really get out of hand here.
Well, we could just get out of hand again later.
Yeah, it's fine.
So it's a pretty short TWAB this week, really. kind of scrolling through it here. Really, we're just kind of focusing on the launch of Festival of the Lost that came out on Tuesday. I mean, we do have some new stuff. We've got our mech armor that was voted on by the community because the monster sets were gross, right? You weren't a monster fan, were you, Corey?
No, I do have friends that said they voted for the monster stuff. I'm like, why?
They must be hunters.
No, Mitch, my friend Mitch that plays with us all the time, voted for monsters. I was like, Mitch, what are you doing?
The Titan set looked bad.
Yeah,
you just want to be a Shrek, big
the
brown Shrek.
The mech set is the first time I'm like excited to wear a Titan helmet other than the Saint 14 helmet. Okay, it's like, I don't know.
And then you got Lego pieces on your arms, though.
That's fine. Look, I don't need anything but the helmet. I know you have to buy the whole set, but I don't need anything but the helmet.
Did you buy the set yet?
No, I'm going to tomorrow. I've been busy with work and a bunch of other things and trying to get this Disney trip set. So like plus like, my other podcasts and stuff, I have just been busy. My Destiny playing is reserved to the weekend.
That's fair.
I
will
be buying it as soon as I log in.
As soon as you log in, you've got to buy it. And the first thing you got to do as a Titan is put together an Optimus Prime loadout.
Oh, yeah.
They should have done an Optimus Prime or like a Transformers emote.
Yeah, what would it be though? Would it be him like in the movie where he's holding it up over his head?
Or like maybe you transform into the truck and the truck just like glows around you or something. Might have been cool. I don't know.
Or a little Shia LaBeouf pops out. He's like, Sam, put the spark into my chest.
Put the cube into my chest. That was the first joke I made as soon as it came out. Well, let's talk about what we do get kind of new this year with Festival of the Lost. We've got the mech armor, which we talked about, which is cool. I like the Warlock set quite a bit. We have a new legendary sniper rifle, Mechabra, obviously play on the word there, play on the spooky word.
Words.
I've heard some good things about the sniper rifle. I'm not a huge sniper rifle fan. If it's not Succession, I probably haven't used it. But I've heard good things about it, and I think the curated role that people are getting from the quest itself is a pretty good PvP role. The look of the sniper rifle is pretty sweet, though. What do you think about it, Corey? You think it looks cool?
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I mean, I'm not a big sniper guy, really at all, actually. But I think it looks cool. I hope it's useful. Because sometimes these weapons, you look at them and they're just like,
well,
cool. Like remember the pulse rifle that came out with the dinosaur set? What, the Jurassic something?
Ah, yeah, we'll get to that. Was that a sniper?
No, it was a pulse rifle.
Yeah. We'll get to that later because they definitely gave that guy a nice little boost for this event as well.
Yeah.
Jurassic Green, I think was the name of it.
Yeah, I still have one in my vault. Maybe I'll pull it out and look for it because like I just remember last year it was fine during the event, but like when the event was over and they kind of, I don't know, just wasn't.
Well, it can roll. You'll want to go get a new one. I believe it can get some of the newer perks. Yeah, it can roll with Incandescent and Golden Tricorn now, which are two sort of almost meta perk. Well, Incandescent's definitely a meta perk, but Golden Tricorn's also pretty good. So I would say just ditch the old one, go get a new one.
Yeah, maybe I will.
But so we got a couple new weapons, a couple old weapons got some refreshing. We have another event card, which
Yay.
Right,
these event cards, man,
dude, it's so depressing. So I bought the event card for what was it, Solstice, and was just completely just bummed about it. I felt like I literally just ripped up, like, what was it? What are they, like $10?
Yeah,
I feel like I just ripped up a $10 bill and threw it in the toilet. So going into this, I wasn't going to buy this one, and it doesn't look like they've done anything to make me change my mind.
Yeah.
You guys have talked about the event cards at
Yeah,
length
we
on
talked
here
about it
before.
during I think there was one during what, Solstice, I think had one.
Yep,
We
yep,
talked
that's
about
the
it
one.
there and
That's the one I
how
bought.
terrible of an idea it was. Yeah, and like the rewards weren't even really worth it either.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, and they're not this time. I think you get another emote, sparrow, and I don't think you get a ship with it. You get an exotic ghost. So the emote is like you're bobbing for apples, which I'm sorry, I'm like a space warrior. Why the hell am I bobbing for apples? Somebody
right.
tell me. You get like I think the cat. I don't know if it's a ship or a sparrow. And then there's the ghost is like a candy apple, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
this sparrow, this cat sparrow.
I mean, some people like cats. I'm not a cat person. But...
I'm not a cat person either. My cat's laying over there under the desk. You can't see her,
Oh,
but
we better not be talking bad about cats then. She might just like attack you.
yeah, it's fine. She's sick and not sick at the same time.
I mean, the cooler sparrow for the event seems to be the one that's in the Eververse, just as part of like a package. You get like a van, like a old 80s van
Oh, like
ship.
somebody called it the mystery machine earlier today. Yep.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that. It's like green, it's got some wings. You get a magic 8-ball exotic ghost, which honestly has like one of the cooler interactions that I've seen. So if you go and you preview the ghost and you like shake the preview of it back and forth, the whatever's on the screen of the magic 8-ball, like on the viewing window, will actually change.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, it is. It doesn't like give you any messages like a magic 8-ball would, but I found that completely by random, and I thought that was a cool little detail that somebody decided to implement. So if you didn't know that and you have that ghost, check it out. And then probably the coolest sparrow of the entire event is the space horse broomstick thing.
Yeah, that thing looks crazy. I think it looks weird.
I want to know if it makes any sounds when you take off in it. I haven't bought that set.
Man, you know what would have been perfect? I know everybody's asking for those stupid sparrow horns to come back, and like I'm like I don't care either way, but this would have been like the horse, like the Zer's magic horse from Dares of Eternity.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been cool. You just hit that and it starts talking to you.
I wonder if it just like poops out glitter when you go flying too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So, I mean, what else did we get as part of like the ever? Because really, I mean, that's what this. There are some events that we do as part of Festival of the Lost, but really the mechanics of the event really hasn't changed all that much. You go into the lost sectors, kill a bunch of Pumpkinhead guys. You get held hostage for 1:30. Did you see that on Twitter at all?
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know if that's a bug or whether there's just like some kind of safety net. But I was like, what am I supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Like you kill 10 headless guys and suddenly you're stuck.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, Festival of the Cost really hasn't changed.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest stuff is always the cosmetics, right? I mean, like between the masks and the armor and just the ghosts and the sparrows, those are always the things that I look forward to looking at or seeing. I may not buy them all, but they're still super cool. Now, in this TWAB, these masks, these are the masks, right? In the top in the banner, like this.
Yes, those are.
This Savathun one is hilarious. The one with
it's
the
not
buttons.
all of them. I think there's another one as well. But yeah, the Savathun one looks really funny. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
The blueberry mask is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that one come into my inventory. It's kind of weird though. They go kind of like back and forth between having some of the masks look super like detailed and like almost exactly like what they're supposed to be, and then some of them look like they were put together by my kids, which is kind of cool. I like the almost like newspaper texture on the Sabathun one.
Yeah, I wonder if they just had like, hey, you can do whatever you want, but you 10 people design a mask and we'll put it in the game, and it doesn't matter if it's realistic or not.
They should let us vote on the masks next year
Yeah,
on top of the sets. If
that'd
you
be
could
cool.
have one mask that's not already a mask, what would it be, Corey?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what are the masks anymore.
I
Uh,
mean, what? Okay, so I mean, if it is already a mask, it's fine. What would you like to see from the Destiny universe be a mask?
um, I mean, I think a Mithrax mask would be cool. I think that came last year though.
I'll have to look and see.
Mithrax mask or
Yeah,
uh yeah, I mean, I think that would probably be my pick. I like me some Mithrax, you know.
you do like you some Mithrax.
By the way, side tangent again.
Go.
Did you see the picture on the Discord I posted?
No.
It's
What
we were at Boo at the Zoo the other day.
what channel did you post it on?
I think just general.
Let me look.
We were at Boo at the Zoo, and some guy had a um dressed up as Aramis.
What?
Yeah,
I don't see it. You'll have to send it to me like regularly, like via DM or something. I'm kind of interested to see this. You were just at some random.
we were at Boo at the Zoo, and like everybody was allowed to dress up and go get candy and do the Halloween activities.
Was it a good Aramis?
It was it was pretty good. I mean, like I think they could have used some paint, some more paint, but like, oh, I miss some new Guardians in here. Hello, new Guardians. I see you. Uh
Let's use this as an opportunity to plug the Discord.
yeah. Join the Discord, everybody. Join the Tower Casuals Discord. If you follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, you've probably already seen the graphic and the link. So just click on the link, copy and paste it. Copy
You'll,
pasta, as they say.
you'll pop in. We'll welcome you. We'll chastise you. Not right away, but eventually.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
can.
that's like your rite of passage is us chastising you for the first time,
Yeah, yeah. But now
So,
we're doing some new stuff on the Discord where we're setting up some interesting different types of raid runs. Like this next week, we've got a locked loadout run, which is similar to the old prestige raids of the past, where you have a locked loadout to a specific set of weapons. So we have a couple people in Discord who are super excited to run that. You can get in there and give us some nickname suggestions for Josh. There's lots of cool things you can do
yeah,
on the Discord. You can find her. Wow, that is not a bad Aramis.
I know.
Did you talk to this person?
No, they were like they're standing alone and being creepy and stuff. But like, I was just like, and no, here the thing too is like my kids were kind of scared of it, but
Oh yeah.
and
I
I'm
would have
just
set my wife up and like gone to talk to this person or whoever you were with. Maybe you were with your wife. Maybe you were with
no, I
someone
was with
else.
my wife.
I would
Uh,
want, but like, I guess if you're gonna be Aramis, standing in the corner being kind of creepy is in character, right?
yeah, it
This is,
was
I
cool
mean,
though.
this is not a bad Aramis though. I was expecting way worse.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out because there's a woman with this person, and I was trying to figure out if she was a Destiny character too. Although she looked like Korra from the Avatar series.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I also was like, no, maybe she's trying to be Hawthorne, pale Hawthorne. Um,
I
I
mean,
did,
all you would have had to do is talk to her, and if she
I could have, but
said the same four lines to you over and over
I'm
again,
not. I see. I'm one of those people who can't just like walk up to some random stranger and be like, "I know what you are for Halloween. That's kudos to you, lady." You know?
so I have a funny Destiny in public story. Since we're fully on this side tangent train,
Yep.
I was at Harbor Freight, which is
Ooh.
if you've never been to a Harbor Freight, it's basically like the target for heterosexual men. Like you walk in there, you're walking out with a lot of stuff
My dad loves that
um,
store.
that you didn't expect. Well, I mean, okay, so I have, I own a house, and if you own a house, there's a lot of tools, a lot of equipment that you kind of have to have on tap in order to do repairs. So I'm in there at least once a week, and I'm in there. I'm looking around at drill bits, and one of the guys that works at Harbor Freight comes up to me, and he stands next to me for a second. And I don't want to acknowledge him because that'd just be weird. And he looks at me, he goes, "Eyes up, Guardian." And I'm like, "The fuck did you just say to me?" Like, eyes up, Guardian. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool." And I looked down and I realized that I'm wearing my Warlock hoodie that I made from or my wife had made for me a couple Christmases ago. But like, if you're gonna go up and like acknowledge somebody as like a Destiny fan or a fellow Destiny fan, at least say hi first.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
just walk up and whisper, "Eyes up, Guardian."
Yeah, I mean, the thing, it would be different if like you were at like some sort of like convention or, but like you're in like a place where like maybe somebody doesn't know what that means, and
How funny would it have been if I was wrong, or if he was wrong? Would
right,
have gotten punched in the face by some like old man.
right. Oh, that's funny.
Anyway,
That's really funny.
back to the TWAB.
The TWAB.
There's
Is that?
only one more section I think really to talk about here.
Yeah.
Some stuff is going away as
Oh,
of next season. So actually some pretty important stuff. There's a few weapons that are going away from the Iron Banner playlist. We're going to lose Forge's Pledge and Reese Walker, the pulse rifle and shotgun, respectively. I mean, those are two pretty decent weapons.
that shotgun. I use that shotgun when I play PvP.
Yeah, that shotgun is. I mean, it's definitely up there in terms of the shotgun meta. In my opinion, I definitely use it a lot. I know I get killed by it a lot. From the Trials of Osiris loot pool, we're losing Aisha's Embrace, the Scout Rifle, and the DPS King Reed's Regret is going away
Mm.
as of this season.
I feel like Reed's Regret like is still new for some reason. I feel like it's still like, although
It's
I
been
guess
around for since
almost a year. I guess.
yeah, it's been around since the first Cabal season, I think, like the Keitel season.
Yeah,
I
Risen.
want
I
to
think.
say,
Yeah. I know. I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe I just put things into perspective of this show where I'm just like, oh, I remember talking about that on the show. That feels pretty recent, and then I'll
yeah,
go look it up. Like, oh, maybe that was like a year ago.
yeah. Well, I mean, it is still a very relevant weapon in the meta. It's probably our most reliable fusion to use with Phantom Might. So if you don't have a good Reed's Regret, get in there, grind out some trials, and get one before it goes away. And then from the Nightfall playlist, we're losing Silicone Neuroma, the sniper rifle, and Duty Bound auto rifle. Honestly, I've never used those two.
Duty bound. I use Duty Bound a lot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not the best auto rifle, but it's like when I'm in a pinch and I just want to use an auto rifle and have some dumb fun, and my secondary and heavy are doing most of the work. I'm just like, okay, Duty Bound's fine.
It looks cool. I mean, it's always been a cool looking gun. It's got like the bayonet on the front of it, kind of.
Yeah, I think a lot of people started talking about it too, and Glaives came back around because there was that rumor going around that any gun with I almost said a bayonet on the front of it, uh,
Do we want to go
could.
down the Bayonetta rabbit
No, I've
hole?
already been down it 3 times this week. I can't do it again.
That's
God,
fine.
yeah. If you wanna hear our hot takes on the Bayonetta thing, you can listen to Nintendo Power Block or the Boss Rush podcast. It's just,
Oh
oh my
man.
gosh. But there was that talk where guns with bayonets would have a secondary function as a glaive, which I thought that would be a cool, interesting twist on that.
That
Uh,
so what's funny is when we get to one of our questions later in the episode, I want to come back to that topic right there. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. That would be a very cool thing.
yeah. I
if
would
they
use
added
Monte
that.
Carlo and Duty Bound way more often than I do now because I'm a big fan of the glaive. I don't know about you, but I
No,
am.
I mean, I was a glaive convert as of last season. They were they really helped a lot, and when I got back into GMs, not even without the champion mod that went along with it, but I
Hmm.
mean, glaives they were very very helpful in just in keeping you alive and killing some stuff up close. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a glaive convert now. I wasn't at first. I made fun of A1 Johnny for a long time
Mm.
for using it, and I owe
There's a
A1 Johnny an
while.
apology, but I'll never say it to his face.
There was a while where I was running. I think I was running like I was running Wristwalker and a glaive and Galahorn all at the same time, and Mitch would like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I'm like, I'm being a Titan. Just let me punch things, let me shoot things, and let me blow shit up.
That's a tight loadout. Well, no, I mean, you just got to find a way. You got to swap Gallarhorn for Sweet Business. I feel like
Well, Sweet Business is a primary though.
yeah, you got to get rid of his Duty Bound's a primary, right?
Yeah.
Get rid of Duty Bound, throw in Sweet Business, and throw a sword on or something.
Hmm.
Just
Ooh, a
more,
sword. That would have been an even better idea.
even more melee.
Hmm. That's a good idea. I'm gonna do that the next time we run a really hard nightfall or the dungeon.
Make
Yeah.
sure now go into some master content with Josh with that loadout.
Oh,
He'll
no,
be
I
real.
don't feel like Josh yelling at me.
He'll be really happy about that. But that's pretty
Oh,
much it for the TWAB, man. Like looking at it, I mean, is there anything else in here that you read that you want to think we should cover?
I mean, not not really. That I mean that there's that update on the 18th. The weapons update that's not in the TWAB. Uh, I'm not the weapons person to tell you if thing. I mean, we kind of went over some of it the last time, but it's just a whole bunch of like you know the exotics that are getting changed and what's changing on them and what abilities are getting adjusted. Uh, for example, like No Time to Explain is getting adjusted because they're adding the full auto kind
Mm-hmm.
of accessibility function. So a lot of the weapons that have full auto are getting tweaked and adjusted too. So uh, maybe we'll talk about it next week. But I'm not the weapons guy. I don't really care what my weapons do as long as they kill things in the dungeon and stuff. Like I mean, I try when I'm playing with like you or Johnny or people that like care about this stuff. I care more about this stuff, right? Like I went and grinded out a Taipan, so like I would not look like an idiot when we were raiding and stuff, right? But like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
if I'm just
I get
running
it.
around doing my weekly stuff, like I don't care what my weapons do.
Well,
You
that's the
know?
good part about like 90% of the content in the game, right? You could use a banana peel and probably still get some kills with it.
Yeah. So
Um, but yeah, I
I,
get it.
I mean, like a lot of my favorite weapons are getting tweaked, and so I'm gonna probably have to test them out a little bit, right? Like Jade Rabbit and Lord of Wolves and No Time to Explain are the three that are listed under exotics that are getting changed.
Yeah.
Uh, so I saw somebody like somebody using Lord of Wolves the other day, and it was just kind of like, what is this gun anymore? It's
If
just like,
they were using it in PvE,
they were. I forget where they were using. No, I think they were using it in Gambit. It was a Gambit video I was watching
oh
for some
man,
reason.
what a degen! Using Lord of Wolves makes you a bad person, but using it in Gambit makes you an even worse person.
Yeah. Well, look, just being in Gambit makes you an even worse person. Let's be
That's
fair.
true.
Hmm.
You're a scoundrel if you're in Gambit.
Hmm. Drifter, cool. Gambit, not cool. I think we
Fair
can all agree
enough.
on that.
Fair enough. But
All right.
that's I think that's pretty much it for the TWAB.
Great. You know what we do have,
Lay it
nerd?
on me.
We have
Lay
a
it on me.
ton of questions.
Let's do it.
If I can get to the thread.
Usually I'm just the one submitting the questions, so I'm excited to actually answer some questions.
Yeah, it looks like we have 6 questions this week. 5
Okay.
questions. Yours is the first one. Sorry. Post your questions for next week's episode here. Good one. Good question. Uh,
Answered.
so our first question of the night comes from Ronnie. He writes, so we know that Josh is a hunter and Corey is a Titan main. If you know what you know now and came in fresh with a fresh account and a blueberry all over again, would you still main those, or would you choose a different class or different character to main? Well, you're the warlock, so I want to let you go first.
So I have an interesting journey. I went in D1. I played a warlock main, and I was a pathetic warlock main. Like I remember getting stuck inside Archon's Forge because I couldn't figure out how to jump out of it. I spent in my first few, my first dozen hours trying to master the warlock jump and figure out how literally I just couldn't get it. Like, how the hell do I get up to that ledge to get out? Like my guy won't jump more than like 3 feet off the ground. So I was a warlock in D1, and then when I used D2 as an opportunity to switch, so I switched to a hunter, and I was a hunter all the way up until Shadowkeep. And then after Shadowkeep, I took a little break, and then when I came back from my break, I decided that I was going to switch to a warlock. Really just to make the game feel new again. So sort of, kind of like what we're talking about here, but I think now I'm just completely locked into warlock. If I were to start over knowing what I know now, I would probably still pick warlock. I do value the support parts of the class. I like wearing a dress. Maybe.
You have to admit the warlocks are kind of the fanciest of the bunch. You know.
Yeah, but you don't know what we wear under the dresses, so I don't know. But I would probably go warlock
you
again.
as Ikora's undergarments instead of Shaxx.
That might not be in good taste. We might not want to do that. I feel like you can make jokes about Shaxx. I don't know if we want to make jokes about Ikora.
That's fair. That's fair.
What about you, man? Would you remain a Titan?
So the thing is before Destiny was like cross play, cross save, cross account stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Titan main on PlayStation, but I was a Warlock main on Xbox. So when I would flip flop between groups of friends, I would play as the different classes. I picked Titan because at first because I was like, oh, well, this is Bungie, so I like Halo, and Titan looks the most like a Master Chief clone, so I'm just gonna go shoot stuff, I guess.
Fair.
And I didn't really. I mean, again, like I don't think anybody really knew what Destiny was gonna be when it came out, right? Like we knew it was like a looter shooter online game.
It sounds like Bungie didn't even know what Destiny was going to be when it came out.
Yeah. Look, I mean, some people would argue that even up to like 2 years ago, they probably didn't know what Destiny was, you know? I mean,
hey, you might be right.
I love Bungie, and like, by the way, we can't get out of this episode without talking about the marathon stuff, but
yeah, we could do that.
Just only if to make Josh angry that we talked about it without him, because I know he's really excited.
I definitely think we should talk about it because I know nothing about marathons, so for us to sort of cross that threshold without Josh is going to make him really upset.
Yeah, I mean, I know very little. I've played it before, but we'll get there. We'll get there in a little bit. So when I started playing on Xbox, when all my PlayStation friends quit, I started playing a Warlock because I wanted to play something new, and I like playing a support class, and I knew that it had like the self res, which I was like, oh well, I suck at staying alive, so that's probably going to be useful. And it took me a while to get used to the jump because was used to Titan skating and stuff, but I would say the only class I've never spent a significant amount of time with is the Hunter. I think out of the 2,000 hours I've put into Destiny since Destiny 1,
Mm-hmm.
I've maybe played 5 hours as a hunter, maybe.
Yeah.
So, I just have no interest in even playing that class at this point. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to learn a new class. I am where I'm at. I still play a warlock occasionally, but I think if I was to start over again, I'd still be a Titan.
I think if you play Titan for long enough, you ingest so many crayons that they start to rot your brain a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you probably wouldn't be able to play anything else, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, you eat all those crayons, you're not gonna have the brain capacity to learn another class.
But your fists get
Mm-hmm.
really jacked.
It's true. It's
Next question.
true. Our next question comes from Zao Ambrosia. If you could create a completely new weapon mod, what would it be called, and what would it do? Um, hmm. I actually think it would be cool to add like not elements in terms of like solar void arc, but like I think it would be
Mhm.
cool to add like mods to your gun that would do like damage over time, or
Mhm.
if you shot an enemy,
Yeah.
maybe it did less damage to them, but it healed you while you shot them or something. Like I think it would be something more along those lines.
Yeah. So mine was going to be exactly what you pointed out earlier. Would be like adding like some kind of melee or like a bayonet to whatever gun you're using
Mm-hmm.
that gives. It doesn't even have to necessarily add any new animation, but like your melee attacks cause extra damage within a certain proximity. Like it would have to be like not not powered melees that have like range to them, but like the, oh shit melees when you're up close and trying to take down that thrall. Within your melee is still on recharge. I think that'd be cool. And if it added on like new geometry onto the weapon of some sort, that would be kind of cool too. But
Yeah.
some kind of melee mod onto the weapon.
Well, they kind of do that with like sights and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and then obviously we have a lot more perks now on our weapons that contribute to melee. What's the one that came out this season? Was it Pugilist, or I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
saying that right.
No, you're saying it right. I said it wrong the first time. I said the first time I read it out loud on the show, I said polygamist. I was like, that's not right.
That's a whole different thing.
I was like, this is not a
That's the mod I would add onto my gun.
this
Polygamy.
Is not a TLC reality show here.
Does this gun come with sister wives? Jeez.
Oh, these are my sister wife guardians.
These are the this is what they're gonna put on your tombstone.
Oh god. Get me out of here. All right,
Next question.
We're gonna answer Zao Ambrosia's second question. Do you think they'll ever add a way for us to go back and edit our guardians' faces and such?
No.
I don't think so. I wish they would, because my guardian is super ugly. But I wish they would. I remember on my old Destiny podcast way back in Destiny 1, we were talking about this, and we we called it the barber shop. There should just be a barber shop where Shaxx is in there just cutting people's hair. Like instead of because at that point like Crucible was really bad and Trials wasn't great, we were just like, yeah, Shaxx should just open a barber shop and cut people's hair.
I do think that this question kind of opens up a bigger door, though. Like, we really need more character customization options, because what's currently there is doo-doo. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what my guardian looks like, or what, species, race, whatever you want to call it, he is, because I just like Shaxx, the helmet stays on always.
Yeah, I think the customization is pretty poor. I remember the first time I turned Destiny 2 on, I was excited because I'm like, I'm gonna use this opportunity to create a new Guardian. And I went in and I was like, this is just the same thing. I don't
Yeah,
I don't want this.
you just made an Awoken with a mohawk, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of where
That's
everybody lands.
that's where I'm at. I mean, I have two Awoken characters, and one has like a small mohawk, and the other one has like the big like angled mohawk. So
I want to make an Awoken character with just like giant mutton chops and a beard.
yeah, no facial hair in these characters either.
Well, it would get in the way with all the helmets. I imagine from a lore standpoint that might cause some problems. We'll have to ask Josh when he comes back what are the the lore ramifications of facial hair in Destiny.
Is there a lore corner on facial hair?
There has to be. I demand it for
Uh,
next episode.
what if what if you go into the tower and Zavala just has this like glistening blue like porn stash going in?
I would pay. I would buy an event card just to see that cutscene. What do you think he does in that office? I mean, when he's not standing out
Impounding a desk,
there,
getting
you know,
angry.
he just smashes his desk, gets angry, smashes it, and then he has to like order a brand new one on Amazon and hopes it gets delivered before we notice.
Yeah. No, what if he just like lays on the couch in his office and does like the Wolverine meme and is like petting the picture and it's just a picture of Cade or something, or like I don't know.
Absolutely.
Telling you. Zavala, man. Great leader. A lot of mystery around that guy.
A lot less now than what we used to have,
Yeah.
but I agree. I wanna know what Zavala's day looks like. Give me that, Bungie. Give me that in next week's TWAB.
Yeah.
Next question,
A
Corey.
day in the life of Zavala. Our next question comes from Tiger Jesus 64. He says, if Destiny had a legit horde mode, would you rather 50 rounds horde mode or on PvP maps like Gears of War, or endless horde mode on a special horde map like Call of Duty Zombies, 3-man or 6-man? I mean, we used to have this. It was called Prison of Elders, and it was awesome.
It's kind of. I don't think Escalation Protocol was really like this either. Maybe it was. I don't know if you could kind of call that a horde mode.
Yeah, but it wasn't an arena. I would
No.
like I would like specific arenas, but we all know that Destiny is having a hard time getting PvP maps into the game, so I don't really want to task them with making a whole new mode with whole new maps. But I mean, I think some PvP maps would work. Actually think the Gambit maps might work better, to be honest.
What's there's a PvP map I specifically in mind that I think would work really good for this cuz it's small. Anomaly, is that the one with the big thing in the middle?
Yeah,
And it's like circular. I feel like that one would work really good for a horde mode
yeah,
style thing. I feel like a horde mode would be good for like testing weapon builds and stuff.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
I I definitely wouldn't want anything like, COD Zombies where like you have like to build. I haven't played Zombies in so long though.
The last thing I remember about Zombies was like we had to like plaster like plywood on the doors and you know fix windows and all this other stuff. I don't want that. I want to like go in and shoot stuff and like. I mean, Gears is a little different though because I mean that is a tactical shooter. So like
Mm-hmm.
having a turret over here and a barricade over here would make sense, but I don't think that really makes sense in Destiny, like to build stuff and have barricades and stuff.
No, I agree.
So speaking of Shaxx though, I got an alert from Amazon that statue is back in stock, and then I clicked on it and it still says out of stock. So thank you, Amazon, for wasting my time and this podcast.
Damn it, Bezos! This is all your fault.
Bezos.
You
Has
should you should
Bezos.
You
What?
should try to use the tactics that you used with the company that you called this week. I won't call them out by name, but you should try that with Jeff Bezos. Who knows? Maybe you can get him on the line.
Yeah. Huh. I'll call Jeffy B. You know.
Got him on speed dial.
Our last question comes from Joasis. By the way, shout out to Joasis. I finally after 6 months or whatever, I finally got my first duality clear with Joasis the other day. So that was fun.
Hey, congrats.
That was fun. I got the sword too, so
Are you fucking serious?
yeah.
I've done duality so many times, and I've done master duality many times. I still haven't gotten that sword.
I got it. I got it on my first run, and I got touch on my third run of King's Fall. I just have a lucky streak, man. I don't know.
There's something that I hate you, Corey.
No, have I ever told you the story of in D1 how I pulled a Gallarhorn out of the chest of Prison of Elders?
Yeah, I've heard this.
It's a good time too.
Doesn't make me feel better, Corey.
I know. I'm sorry.
Do you have Vex?
I don't have Vex. I don't have eyes. I don't have.
How many Vex runs am I up to now?
What's the other one I don't have? Oh, I don't have the exotic from Val either. I've only run Val once.
Really? I thought we ran it. I thought I ran it with you.
I've run it twice. So. I'm sorry. I've run it twice.
73 clears of Vault of Glass and still no Vex.
Anyways, Joyce's question, he says, given this season's ending, besides the epilogue, where do you think we're going in the dungeon next season? I'm not sure. I kind of like Josh's theory of we might be revisiting the Deepstone Crypt, but actually like the crypt part, because we know Aramis is kind of trying to get in there.
Mm-hmm. Have we had a Vex dungeon yet?
We have not.
That's vexing.
I mean, I guess that would. Well, I guess that's not a Vex one. That would probably be more of a Fallen one, I guess.
I think we've had a dungeon themed with all of the major enemy types except for Vex.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I just
Shattered
feel like
Throne was taken.
I feel like the Vex have kind of been pushed to the side because I feel like they just don't know what to do with them right now. You know,
which is funny because like the Vex, you can literally do anything with them. I'm not saying they need to be like a main story plot right now, but like we could do anything with them. They could literally just be off doing their own thing because the Vex are working on lots of stuff all the time.
Yeah. So I think after the Light and Dark saga is done, though, I feel like the Vex are going to play a bigger part. Although I guess in Lightfall they're there too. So I don't know.
I honestly don't know what they're going to do with them. I would like to see a Vex dungeon. I haven't been paying a ton of attention to the sort of where the story is going, or any spoilers or anything like that. Really, I didn't pay a ton of attention to the story of this season.
Yeah, I kind of almost feel like this story, aside from like the Aramis and the Mithrax stuff, is kind of throwaway because it's just like a fun pirate story. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't want to get off topic, but I feel like they started off with like the cool pirate stuff and then they just kind of like got off the pirate train. And I really just wish they would have just either picked like go with the fun pirate season, just have it be goofy and crazy. Then we got kind of this like melodramatic story between Mithrax and Aramis and stuff. I don't know. But
yeah. Like I realize that stuff's important to the overall narrative, right? They just started out, with the reveal and stuff, like pirates, everybody's pirates, this is gonna be silly, and then like after 2 weeks it got super serious again. I'm like, I like silly Destiny. It's been so serious for so long. Let's just have like some silliness.
Yeah, I think they try to save a lot of like the goofiness for the seasonal events, but yeah, I do kind of feel you. Sometimes the pressure has to get let out a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of hope they just do something new though in terms of a dungeon. Like, actually, if they were going to do a Vex dungeon, I would want them to do one like Season of the Splicer, like that realm where you're like,
Yeah, the expunge.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
or
would
just
be
give us
cool.
what if the next dungeon is Crota's?
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me either.
I think we're gonna get that at some point. I feel like
I
it
do
has to be
too.
a dungeon.
I do too.
But I really don't know. I mean, I do kind of have a rough idea of where they're headed with the next raid. Unfortunately, I read some paste bins back in the day. I won't share those here. But I do but I don't have any idea where we're headed with dungeon content moving forward. I know we'll have to pay for it.
Yeah.
We'll have to pay extra for it. But
I mean, if you buy the bundle,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
If you buy the bundle, you won't.
It's definitely worth it. I'll never knock on them for charging for dungeon content because their dungeons are so good.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in Duality, so like I'm cool with it.
And I really liked Prophecy and
yeah,
Grasp, even though Grasp was like really easy. It's just like a super fun one to blow through.
Yeah, Grasp is like the goofiness, right? That's what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all the questions we got. Join the Discord, everybody, and look for the podcast question thread that Nerd throws up every week.
Nerd throws up every week. Want them. When I read your questions, I throw up.
Yep. He throws up at your questions. Before we get into Lore Corner, Nerd, I do want to touch on this marathon stuff because I think people who are into PvP, or not PvP, but like PvE type content, this game sounds pretty interesting. For those who don't know, Marathon was Bungie's first Mac shooter. It was on Mac in the late 90s, and then Halo was kind of born out of that. It was an interesting game. Definitely not Doom or Castle Wolfenstein or anything like that, but kind of interesting. And then they actually remastered it for Xbox 360 in I don't know what year, 2009-ish, 8 or 9.
I didn't know they did that.
And I played it. It was cool. It was a cool experience, but this is definitely an interesting thing that seems to be coming around. It's a 3-player squad extraction style game. So I guess think sci-fi Rainbow Six Extraction. Is that what it's called? What was that one that came out
in
earlier
the Rainbow Six Extraction? I don't know, but I've heard that we should be getting in like the Tarkov mindset.
Yeah,
is what I'm reading here.
Yeah. So that's cool. I think I don't know. I loved it as much as I love Destiny. I think Bungie does need to like spread their creativity outside of that space. And we know a bunch of stuff. They're working on a bunch of stuff, and if this is their first game outside of Destiny, I think it's a good start.
I think it's just the beginning of kind of what we're going to start seeing Bungie do over the next decade, maybe.
Yeah.
Is really start to spread out and start to do more, not just even to kind of move beyond gaming, which I've talked about with you guys a bunch, but you guys have talked about separately on the show as well. The only part of this marathon thing that really scares me is the NetEase partnership. Some of the NetEase stuff it's very hit or miss. Obviously, there's some games that are decent that they've done, but like we have stuff like Diablo Immortal, which is really, but I think that might be just like a strategic sort of thing. I don't know if that was necessarily NetEase's part. But you were definitely starting to see a lot more stuff come out from these sort of Western developers partnering with NetEase to get stuff out. it's we'll have to see. That's the part that scares me about this sort of revival.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Bungie though, I feel like Bungie has pretty much full control over the creativity part of it. Like I feel
See,
like
that's what I said about Diablo though.
yeah, but to be
And
fair,
it's yeah,
Blizzard is
Blizzard's
not
not the same.
yeah,
I
it's not
get
the
it.
same Blizzard. This is I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about a Blizzard who is, literally falling apart as
Yeah.
we speak for the last year and a half, right? And they put out Diablo Immortal, whereas Bungie is hitting on all cylinders, getting ready to do something like this too.
Yeah. I do have faith. I do have faith in Bungie, and certainly their whole thing this over the last couple of years is like them showing that like they're in control of their destiny,
Ah,
and they want to have creative control over things. So I don't fear for it yet. um and I'm excited to play more stuff. But I don't know anything about Marathon. Now that you told me that there's a remaster of it in some capacity, I'm definitely gonna go check it out.
yeah,
um
it's probably on PC somewhere. I'm sure it's on Steam. I'm sure it's on whatever Microsoft stores these
mhm,
days. I don't know if I'm sure if you have an Xbox lying around somewhere, you can. I think it's backwards compatible. You can buy it. You can play it.
mhm.
It's an interesting piece of history. I'm not sure I would like say go play it right now, but I think it's cool that they're resurrecting an old IP and kind of refreshing it. I like when studios do that. Like we kind of saw that with Silent Hill this week, and uh Resident Evil 4 looks like it's getting a pretty gruesome facelift and
We're seeing a lot of old franchises sort of brought back from the dead.
mhm.
It's kind of interesting. I don't.
Yeah.
I wonder if like there's somebody made a post-it note somewhere, like a note in their computer, like 10-20 years ago, to like start appealing to all these like 35-40 year olds, people who played all these games back in the day. Like, if you want to make money, just put these 5 franchises back out on the market in like 25 years. Thanks, bye, we'll see you later.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. Well, what do you say we get into some lore corner
hit
here,
me hit me with
nerd?
it. Yeah.
Uh, lore corner. Okay. So this is the findings of Ido, number 24. It has to do with Festival of the Lost. Um,
Okay.
the findings of Ido, scribe of House Light, regarding the beings known as the Headless Ones. Here, what we know about the strange pre-Golden Age ritual of the Hall Between. During the rite, common humans wore monstrous masks for cosmetic and spiritual purposes, a custom that survives via the Festival of the Lost. Masked humans were allowed, if not encouraged, to participate in banditry and extortion of their neighbors. This seemed especially prevalent among juveniles. Humans used a long extinct variety of pumpkin familiars to breach the veil between life and death. It's unclear what roles these sentient fruits played in the ritual, but the psycho spiritual power of the legendary gourds permits further research.
So for trick or treating, I'm gonna have my kids walk up to my neighbor's doors, and instead of saying trick or treat, we're gonna say banditry and extortion, and see what we get. They get to choose banditry or extortion.
Mm, that's
I
funny.
like I like these kinds of lore pieces that sort of play back into the real world.
Yeah,
That did take place in the Destiny timeline. Um, but it's neat to see that somebody took the time to kind of try to make that tie, and it's
yeah.
cool. I
Yeah,
like it.
I like the lore stuff that revolves around all the events because it's usually a little lighter and a little bit funny, and I don't know. This is fun with like I mean Ida's kind of, if you've been following the story this season, she's kind of naive anyway, and like her like learning things and everything. It's funny.
Yeah.
the, these legendary gourds is what she calls them. psycho-spiritual power.
There's so many jokes to make with legendary gourds.
Oh no,
Corey.
Oh no. That's the name of the episode, by the way.
Legendary gourds.
Maybe that's what's in Shaxx's undergarments. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
On that note, I feel like we should end it there.
That's a great spot right
Yep.
there.
Yep. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of Tower Casuals. You can follow us on Twitter at Tower Casuals. You can email the show, towercasuals@gmail.com. Join the Discord. It's a really fun group. Nerd does a great job of keeping that everybody in line and that whole thing cleaned up and nice. We'll do in-game activities with you if you want to do PvP. I will need a backpack because I will need carried, but it's fine. It's just a really fun group.
You heard Corey.
You
heard Corey. He's gonna run Reeswalker, Duty Bound, and Gallarhorn for every raid. You can't convince him otherwise. So he's gonna be a heavy carry.
Yep. You know it. Nerd, I know you're not that much on social media, but do you want to tell people where to find you if you want?
In the Discord. Find me in the Discord.
Find him in the Discord. You can find me on the internet at I am Corey in HD. If you want to hear my voice elsewhere, you can check out the Boss Rush podcast and Nintendo Power Block. Those are my other podcasts that I do. Yeah. Remember to like.
Josh, we miss you. We'll see you. Hopefully, see you next week.
No, everybody tweet at Josh_Finn and send him some memes, some jokes, some good vibes. Josh, we miss you this week, but he'll be back next week, and then I'm sure Nerd will be back the week after that because I will be on vacation.
Fine. So, Reign of Terror. I'll derail the show once again.
It's true. It's fine. It's good.
Let's do it.
I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.